Hello everyone and welcome to V-Throttle. So today we are going to take the test ride of the 310 GS and the 310R. Both of them. It's gonna be a small ride, but let's see if all the changes what BMW have made and actually made an impact on the motorcycle. So let's see if this ride-by-wire, the slipper clutch and the e-throttle is gonna work properly and have BMW fixed all the problems on the motorcycles. So let's find out. Okay, so here it is, and we are going for a small test ride here. And first of all, obviously the bike looks huge and the impact is good. So let's see if they have fixed all the problems. So first of all, when we start the motorcycle, let's see if this issue has been resolved. Okay, so now they have the e-throttle, which means the throttle will auto adjust as per the requirement, and it's not going to stop like the previous model. Earlier the bike used to stop and stall, so the problem has gone now. Okay, so let's just start our journey or a small ride now. First gear first, and here we go. The very first thing that you will notice is that the ride-by-wire response, it is extremely good. It doesn't feel like you are riding something with an electric motor there. So let's first talk about the drawbacks of the motorcycle. The first thing is there's no switchable ABS option down here. Earlier on the previous model you had the option to turn off the ABS, but now you do not have that anymore. Second thing, the speedometer is still as the previous unit, it is just black and white. Third thing, the traction control is missing because people are going to compare it with the KTM 390 Adventure. Okay, let's talk about the seat height here, because obviously we're going to stop on red lights and many other places. So I'm 5'10", and the seat height is the same as the previous model. My heels are not touching the ground here, and I think 5'10" is a pretty good height, but still if the heel is not touching the ground, that can be an issue, but not for everyone. The rider with the less height is going to face a little bit of problem there, but not everyone. Also, the torque lowdown feels much better now, unlike the previous model. Feels much more refined, and the vibration has reduced significantly. Because of that less vibration now, the bike feels so much better that it doesn't scare you off. Because as you know, when a motorcycle vibrates and you accelerate the motorcycle, it creates a doubt on your mind whether I should accelerate it to that extent or not. But this time, as this is smooth, you don't feel like slowing it down. One thing I'm noticing here is that the ride-by-wire spring, or the spring which is controlling the throttle on this motorcycle, it's quite hard. So you might have to keep a track on your throttle. But this e-throttle is actually working here, because even when I'm slowing down, the knocking thing on the motorcycle is not that much, because the e-throttle is controlling that. The gear shift is smooth. Even the corners feel good. This gives you a big bike feel. So if you're going for an adventure ride for more than 200 to 300 kilometers, you would not mind taking a smaller bike like this and still cruising easily at good speeds. You still have Metzeler Tourance tires on this one, and the grip is really good. Even on the roads with less traction, the grip feels really nice and subtle. And this thing is agile. BMW, with all their adventure motorcycles, have given very good agility to every model. Let's see what happens when you do the emergency braking here. Okay, again a plus point. Now the suspension is not going to bottom out. Unlike the previous model, this feels so much planted. Even in the case of emergency braking, the motorcycle feels so stable. Oh, I love this thing. This is so much smoother now. And then after short shifting, you open the throttle and there's good response. There's this one thing which I really like the most about the BMW, and I've also mentioned this on my other videos of BMW 310, is that this ram air intake on the motorcycle. So after or post 4000 rpm or 5000 rpm, you'll start noticing the change of sound on the motorcycle, and it will bring a smile on your face. I hope you can hear that. This little thing is really agile and flexible, and with the bad roads, you actually do not feel that on your spine. Best suspension hands down. Now let's just check that slipper clutch. Okay, no load on the engine. Really good work there, BMW. Again, let me just slow it down. Good one. Again, the rough patch. I stood up on the bike and it's gone. Although on the ride-by-wire, obviously you have to twist the throttle quite a lot. All the sensors are going to give the data to the ECU, and then it will decide whether it should give you that power or not. For example, I'm on the third gear and I'm going to open the throttle. So yes, okay. As soon as the induction starts working, this thing goes crazy. And that slipper clutch, now BMW claims that this thing goes 0 to 50 in 2.5 seconds. That's pretty quick for Indian standards. Let's just do a small 0 to 50 test. Oh, that was pretty quick. So guys, that was all about this small motorcycle. I think I've covered everything. The ride-by-wire, the speedometer, it's still old. Now the adjustable clutch levers are really helpful, no doubt. This was already adjusted to my settings. The braking is good. The brakes are still the old Brembo brakes, and they work absolutely fine. The Turan's tires, they give you really good grip, and also as I mentioned, even on the rough patches and some dusty patches, it is still giving some good grip. The suspension is working absolutely fine now. The suspension definitely has improved, and it is not bottoming out, or it is not going to bottom out now. LED obviously looks absolutely great. Also, the foot pegs are the same as the previous one, and if you just remove the rubber, which has already been removed here, remove the rubber and it is adventure ready. The engine is definitely smoother than before, and the suspension, the rear suspension is also good. The e-throttle is working absolutely fine. The ride-by-wire is great, although I'm not a fan of ride-by-wire, but then it's gonna work for me on this motorcycle. The seat is really good. The seat height can be a bit of an issue for the rider with the small height, but then I'm absolutely fine with it. Also, as I was talking about the maneuverability of the motorcycle, you see this is the turning radius of the motorcycle. The slipper clutch, that was something which I really loved about this motorcycle. It was required, that is for sure, it was required. But overall, these changes have made a huge impact, and this is more desirable now. And I would again give it to the BMW for giving us this motorcycle. It is still better than the KTM Adventure 390. The KTM 390 Adventure has the problem of the suspension, even the tank grabbing. As you can see, when I stand up on the motorcycle, I can grab a lot of tank, which will help me to maneuver the motorcycle easily on the rough roads and patches. That is what I was trying to explain the previous time, or in my previous video in which I went against the Adventure 390 with the BMW. So that's all from my side for the BMW. Now let's just hop on to the 310R and let's see if that has changed as much as the 310 GS.